Maybe you felt it recently. Maybe you felt that little jolt of inspiration, that little jolt of motivation out of nowhere. Maybe you see all this chaos happening and, these systems falling apart, this chaos, this really significant chaos happening in the world, maybe within your life, maybe within your job, maybe within your relationships, but somehow you feel a little bit of a spark. And that's the divine coming through. That is the magic of chaos. And so chaos has order, chaos has purpose, and it's shaking up the patterns. It's a pattern disruptor to get people to wake up. And as we wake up, we start to remember. When we think about in 2020, when that whole thing happened, what happened after that? Everybody started, not everybody, but a lot of people started waking up to what matters to them, to their purpose, to their passions, to their creativity, to their hobbies. And so, hold on. Sorry, we just had some people getting a tour. We have some Israeli people who had their flight canceled who are coming here for their friends of someone that lives here, but also they're coming here for sanctuary, which is really sweet that we can offer that. I also just yawned, and so it looks like I may be crying. But yeah, there's been this like random spark, and I'm very sensitive to all the energies going on in the world at all times. And I woke up and I was just like, it's go time. I was so like, okay, this is what has to be done. I have to check these off the list. And it was like boom, 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 boom. And things started moving. Like there were a lot of periods of time recently where I was like, I feel that pull somewhere, but I don't see like the door, right? And I have been having all of these signs recently of all my doors having issues. Literally every single door that I have, all the doors of my gate, all the gates of my fence, all having some kind of issue. And so I've been really like sitting with this and meditating with this message of the doors and what it means. And I've been like, I'm ready. Like when I see the door open, I will walk through. I'm like, God, close the doors that are not meant for me, open the doors that are meant for me. And in that, when we, agree to let go, like we do, full moon ceremonies, or we do intention setting, and we choose to let go, that means that we choose to accept the chaos that is going to come in, to really close those doors. If we don't fully, like, not just close the door, like, I don't want you in my life anymore, I'm quitting, but like emotionally close the door. And so, like, so often we will quit a job, but then we will manifest the same exact dynamic in the next job. I've seen this so many times where I'm like, oh, this person equals this person, and this person equals this person. Like if I compare like the blueprint of the patterns of the job to the previous one. And so we have to really like emotionally, energetically close the door. And I think that many of us have been doing that recently. Whether you're aware of it or not, your soul has been getting ready for this huge moment that's happening on Earth right now, where this chaos is happening to birth this beautiful thing. And so the best thing that you can do right now is take that action. Use that inspiration, use that momentum to move forward and to move towards that thing that you've been wanting to do. Maybe it's a business, maybe it's you want to move somewhere, you want to move abroad, maybe it's like a new way of presenting yourself, your new appearance, maybe you want to move to just a new state, or I don't know, start a new friend circle, or just like change your identity, like be seen as someone else. This is the time to do that. This is that door has opened, and I see it and I feel it like very strongly. And so you don't have to worry about how you're going to get there. You don't have to worry about what's going to happen when you get there. You just have to ride the wave. Just ride the momentum. What has to be done right now? What are the things that have to be done? For me to move to Italy, I had to buy the ticket. For me to go to Ireland right now, I've had to get the van ready. I've had to get everything together. I've had to pack. Today I packed. Today I did all the van projects that I had to do before I left. And so it's about that. It's about getting everything ready so that you can fully walk through that door and say, okay, I'm done with this chapter. I close this emotionally. I close this energetically, and show me what's next. And on the other side of that door, it's going to be completely different. It's going to be very novel. It's going to have all these new experiences that you could never have even imagined before. I'm really not big on watching shows like TV shows, but recently I've been guided to watching Game of Thrones. And I know I'm late, but I feel like I'm always like that. I don't really like whenever something is like really hype, like Taylor Swift or something. Like I feel like there's some kind of programming behind it, and so I don't hop on right away. But for whatever reason, I've been called to watch it. So I was watching a little bit today because I'm doing a water fast, and I was like, okay, how can I honor my rest? Like I did all this stuff in the morning. I'm gonna try and just like relax. Even though watching something isn't actually like resting, I was like, I'm gonna just like challenge my mind that is saying this is unacceptable and just do it. And I was observing how the Araya was walking with like the hound, and they were having all these experiences. They were walking through like the nature with no one there. They were fighting people in bars. They were meeting different people every single day. It was something new, 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 new. And so I think that, I was observing that, and I catch myself when I notice things like that, and I'm like, oh, there's something in this. There's a message in this. And I think that, there's a lot of novelty living on a farm, especially this farm. There's like, so many people, so many volunteers, so many animals, and so there's always something novel. I think that what I'm being called to and guided to is that novelty in different countries, in different places. And also, I think many of you, including myself, have this important role to play of like going around, what is it called? It's like called grid work or something. You go around the world, and every time you go somewhere, every room you step in, really, you don't even have to go far. You are bringing your frequency there, and you are impacting everyone around you. I saw some study or some numbers the other day of how much one person in their authenticity can influence others, and it was like 1 to like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. So if you, hi Zima, Zima just came running up. I also have us on there if you can see. Couldn't see if I was pointing to him or not. So really just staying in your authenticity, staying in what brings you joy, what brings your sparks your curiosity, and moving towards that, and allowing yourself to go to different places, to new places. Go to a new coffee shop, go to a new grocery store, go to a new yoga class, go to a new country if you can, go to a new, whatever. And that's how we're going to have this huge impact, not only in the world, but in your own experience, right? Because as you do that, you change. And when you change, you open up, and the new comes through. The change is the chaos, and then the new comes through. It makes the space. And so often, like, we feel different after we go on like a trip because we've made that space. We've shaken up the patterns. We've woken up. We've seen things different. Like, I was looking at one time when I was living in California. I was looking at my Aura ring because it gives you, or Garmin watch, one of them, and it gives you like your GPS, and it showed me my life, like what I do, and it was like a circle. Like I would go grocery store, to the beach, walk my dog at the beach, come home, grocery store, yoga class, beach, go home, and then like I'd had friends and stuff on that way, but I lived in a circle. That's what I did. And I was like, oh my gosh. And you get to the point where like you just start doing things automatically. Like you don't even realize, you don't think about how you're getting home. You just know the way. You don't think about, the things that you're going to do. You just do them every single day. And my friend, I've talked about this example before, and I don't know if I ever do it justice, but she's very similar in the way that we think. And we were living together in California, and she said, I watch this woman every single day, every single week, take her garbage cans out. She struggles, she puts them, because we lived on like this really steep hill, and she puts them out, and then she walks her dog, and she just walks her dog every single day up and down this road, and just does the same thing every day, every week. She's like, I can't do this. She's like, I have to go. And so we both left, and we both, she got a van, I got a van, and we're like, okay, we have to do the novelty for our own sake, but there's a grand plan in that too if you're called to it. And so right now there's this big portal. The door has opened finally. All these doors have been breaking. All these things in our life have not been working out for a reason, right? They've been meant to be slammed shut. Like when I drove into the cement wall and my door was slammed shut and I had to kick it open, which I'm like, okay, am I supposed to just leave it closed? I don't know. I'm sure the message will reveal itself soon about that. But what I've gathered is that the doors were closing and the new one is opening. You know, you had to close 50 doors so that the right one would open, so that you could see the right one and go to the right one. You have the momentum. You're going towards the right one right now. You're going to walk through. You just have to get everything ready. Get yourself ready. Decide, make a list. What needs to happen in order for me to do this thing that I really know that I need to do in order to step into my chosen timeline? There is one thing that you need to do to get into that chosen timeline. It's called a chain link reaction, or chain link, process of getting to the desired timeline. And so you have to, not just visualize yourself in the chosen timeline, but it's very, very, very helpful to visualize yourself on the way to the chosen timeline. So if you can sit in visualization today, just visualize, what does it feel like to go on the best, like your most ideal path to getting to where you want to go, Maybe for me, it's getting to Ireland, getting on my family farm there, setting up my Starlink, having a good place for my animals, healing my ankle, and, deepening my businesses, deepening my retreats, deepening my coaching offers, deepening my own, spirituality, my own interconnection, having the peace, the calm, the solitude for a little bit, to go deeper in there and say, source, what should I create next? Is it my next business idea, which is more of a merchandise business, which I'm so excited about, and just having that space. And so I can see the progression of how this happens. And then I see, once I decide on a country, getting a home somewhere, like a house somewhere, having a base. I can see myself then, and the next chain link is having a sailboat, hopefully with a partner, being on the sailboat, traveling the world a little bit with my little animal friends. and having bases all over the world. And so I like to really walk myself through that, but also to leave space. And I say I choose this way to my chosen timeline, or something better. Let it be amazing. Let it be better than I could have ever imagined. Thank you. And so it is. And I choose that it is done so with ease and grace and human relativity. So let me know in the comments if you're feeling that random jolt of I have to get moving, because it was significant, and it is significant, and I'm interested to see what tomorrow I wake up with, because I was wake up, go time. I used to have wake up, meditation, all my stuff, brain work, brain retraining, EFT tapping, maybe some sound bowls, time in nature when I could walk without my injury. But now I have my puppy, and it looks different. We wake up, it's go time. And so I get going with him, and that's okay. I saw something today, and I'll end it after this, but I saw something today that was talking about spirituality, and I feel like it summed it up pretty well of how I've been feeling about spirituality. I've almost been getting I've had this for a while, but the ick of some spiritual communities and practices, because I can feel the intention behind, and oftentimes that intention is to be seeking something outside of themselves, and to maybe be putting something into their identity, and to be soothing a wound of worthiness or acceptance, and so it's so far away from what we came to earth to experience. Yes, I think part of it is remembering the truth of who we are, and we can get there by doing these wonderful practices of plant medicine and breath work and meditation, but also there's heaven on earth. We came to experience heaven on earth. We came to experience earth, and there's so much spirituality in our perceived reality, in our relationships, in the people that we meet, the mirrors that we get to experience through others, in the animals, in the nature. If you just stand in a stream, when I was able to walk down to the river for that time, and I was sharing with you guys what I was getting from Gaia, I was receiving so many lessons from like just the river. Like if you just observe a river, you can see how, you know, sometimes the river runs really narrow, but it always finds a way. Like it finds a little crack, and you know, it must be like tough for it to get through there. Not really, it's water, but like it gets to come through there, and then eventually it all comes through, and then eventually there's like a big giant waterfall, and like sometimes we have to be that waterfall and we have to crash apart, and then we, you know, we meet all again at the bottom in our pieces, and we come together, and then we find stillness in the next little, you know, what are they called? Like, not lake, but sometimes lake, yeah, sometimes lake, but we find stillness in that. And so we're just like the river. And so just by being in nature and just looking at nature without a phone, without anything, I was like receiving all the messages that I needed to receive in those days and that time. And so coming back to earth and knowing that the purpose of this ascension right now is to bring the 5D, bring the new earth to earth. And so it's time to come home to your body. It's time to come home to your experience, come home to these relationships, come home to, you know, having this novel human exploration of earth. Be the wanderer, be the explorer, and allow yourself to play, allow yourself to have fun, and to not take things so seriously. When you allow yourself to just relax and ease and regulate, things come to you much easier. The abundance, the love, the joy. So we have all these rescue animals and dogs here, if you're new here. So I will leave you with that. If you'd like to sign up for Decondition, I have some spots open. We are starting the next round on July 1st, and it's a 3-month program, 12 weeks, and it is all about deconditioning your mind so that you can set yourself free and you can, you know, see clearly and break those patterns that have been holding you back. Like if you've been feeling like you know the life that you want and that you desire, but you can't really get there because every time you try to take a step there, something comes up, like something just happens, so it's not possible, or like you have self-doubt, or you think that other people can have it and you can't. Very sorry about the barking. Or you have, you know, health stuff holding you back, or, you know, money beliefs and, you know, beliefs about love. This program is to help you decondition all of that and to just remember how amazing it can be, how fun this experience can be on earth. So I invite you to that. I also have Healed, which is my program, my 21-day program for regulating your nervous system to heal your chronic illness. If you don't know my history, you can go to the sales page. I talk about it, and I give like a video there talking about my health journey and talking about my experience with nervous system regulation, how it was the thing that gave me my life back when I was dealing with Lyme and mold and POTS and all these different chronic illnesses. So puppy dogs, they always start barking at this time, and this is the time when I feel like most not willing, but like called to making a video. So thank you for bearing with me and joining me. If you're still here, let's go ahead and put a wolf emoji. Let's do a wolf. I'm feeling that wolf energy today. And I will see you guys in the next video. Also, some spots for the women's retreat, Wild and Free, in October 4th to 10th here in Italy. So you can apply below, and that is all. I will see you guys in the next video.